stuff out of the way. All right, so here we go. The RX28, you guys. Now, there's some things I need to tell you guys that I forgot to tell you in the first little introductory open box. I got sent some stuff that you guys are not going to get in your kit, and I forgot that was the case. But let's go over that stuff really quickly. This guy over here, this guy over here. That is the spring set, the adjustable spring set. He gave me two, one for each car. You see this part here? That's the brass chassis piece. Your kit will not come with that. Your kit will come with the regular carbon fiber back piece. This is a hop up, this rear brass piece here. They're really cool colors. Some very light springs here. Looks like these here are the lighter ones. Gets heavier with blue, like the bluer ones are heavier. And these are that's a center spring, very, very heavy center spring there. Might be heavier there. So you get two pod springs, looks like, in a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different front springs. These black ones are the default ones. They seem like they're the hardest ones. I don't know if they match the black ones that are in the kit, but there you go. There are your springs. Pretty cool. And that rear plate. So know that. All right. So I built a super stock car and a pan car that could double as a two-wheel drive mod. It's not geared up high enough just yet. It's at 1354. I'm probably going to move up to maybe 15 at the most and just be able to dial back the speed if I don't need it if the track's smaller. But right now, it goes like a bullet. Fantastic. Let's talk about the build. That's going to be the biggest issue that you have. So when the car came out, the instructions were not complete. And people started building anyway, which is the same thing I did because I was super excited about the car. And there was an issue with the front arms. Now, the front arms are machined Delrin, and you may have to chamfer out the hole. If you're going to try to push it on like this, you're definitely going to have to chamfer the hole. But CT has a video out. I'll link that in that top corner right here, and also in the description, or in one of those corners. I can never tell if this is mirrored or not, but it'll be in the top corner. A link to his video, and it'll also be in the description on how you can put them in without having the chamfer. What he does is he puts the ball on the table and pushes the arm onto the ball while the ball is laying sideways. So you kind of take advantage of these longer slit holes, if you can see it there, to get the arm in, or the ball into the arm. So what happened was people were just trying to just mash the ball in there, and the arm would split because Delrin is really good. It's very durable, but it doesn't take being stretched very well. So if you overstretch it, the arm, I think the arm was cracking down the line of this like little piece here, something like that. Mine didn't crack. I took to the internet before I built my car, and I saw people were having problems with their arms, and I went to go push the arm on, and I was like, oh, that's it right there. But that's one thing that you need to know before you start building the car. You need to watch CT's video, and you'll get a little instruction on how to put the arms in. Now the arms are directional, right? So there's a dot. You can't see it on this side, but there's a dot on the other side. The dots are supposed to be facing down, right? So there's a dot underneath of this arm that's facing down, and there's a dot on this arm that's supposed to be facing down. But I have mine facing both in, because I don't know, I preferred it that way. I had to do less chamfering and stuff to get the arms in that way. And I haven't had any issue as of yet. I think initially there was a bit of a difference between how far the ball went into the cup on the bottom arm, but I fixed that by putting in the screws into the arms. So if you see here in the corner there, right there, there's a hole. And as your car wears in, you could put it, he gives you little screws you can put in there that will retain pressure on the ball cup. I only used them on the ones I had the chamfer, and it helps keep the balls in the right position in the arm. And yeah, very little play in there. There's a little bit, but not very much. Not any up and down play. Without the screw, there's a lot of up and down play. All right, so that is what you need to worry about on the arms. There's another thing with his diff. This is not one of the problem diffs, but basically on one side or both sides, you may have to shave down the surface of this part here. Just basically get a piece of sandpaper, put it on the table, and rub the diff on it like this, face down, so that you take off some of the surface on the front of the plate. And you will be good to go. Marcus Williams from MWX makes a very good setup suggestion set of videos on Facebook. I'll put the links to those in the description as well. You should definitely go check those out. This particular one is running the high voltage atomic servo, the GL Racing ESC, which I used to not like, which I'm kind of liking nowadays. It's very smooth, very nice. So let's check out my pan car setup one. All right, so there it is. There is my pan car build. It is running the PN ESC, which are also another ESC I really like. It's running, is that the atomic? No, this is a servo he tells you not to use. Another thing that we need to add in here is he says not to use the V2 AGF AO6, whatever. I'll put the name of it on the screen here. Don't use the V2 because the teeth on it are incorrect, and he is absolutely right. It doesn't fit. Some kits come with the M2 screw front steering knuckle, right? This one has a little hole in it. And it's not, like, you need to be careful when you put these in. Do not like wrench them down so hard because you'll break the stem off, all right? You just put them down until they stop, give it like a tenth of a turn, and you're done. Your best bet is not trying to get the pressure to keep them on, but you're gonna wanna put some Loctite on it to keep it in. I haven't had any problem with mine, but I had this guy Manny at the track, he broke one of his. And there's two kits. I mean, some of them came with this one. This other kit I have came with the regular kind that has a stem on the end. Like that, takes a wheel nut. Either way, you're gonna get 4 wheel nuts in the kit. So if either one comes in, you're good to go. I've never had a set that was like these with the screw. That's pretty cool. The bearing's really good. What else? Oh, another point you need to know is when you're putting the car together, these are +1s that are on here. His arms are longer than normal. So if you usually run a 2, you're gonna wanna run a 1. If you usually run a 1, you're gonna want to, if you usually run a 1, you're gonna want to run a 0, okay? And that will put you at the same offset that a 2 or a 3 would do. If you ran 0s, then there's something wrong with you and you've got way too much steering. No, I'm just kidding, there's nothing wrong with you. You just prefer too much steering. All right, so yeah, so that's another note. The rears are 3s, I believe, but they are like a 1/2 millimeter narrower than normal, is what I hear. You could put a 1/2 millimeter spacer on top of the copper one that he provides, and that will give you the same width as a 3, but I haven't had any issues with it, so I'm just using the copper spacers that came with the kit. You may have a slight issue trying to get your motor in. Marcus recommends that you grind off a little bit of the metal here to get your motor in. I didn't have to do that. My motor's kind of just slid in there just fine. This is a DXR and this is an INSO. They're larger motors, but I've heard people having issues getting the GL in there. I didn't have any issues, just, you know, you got to give it a little push and it snaps in there. You're definitely not going to be able to take the motor in and out with the pinion still on it, but it gets in there. Also with the front brace, I'm not sure if this is in the instructions yet, you can flip this plate over and put the servo on this side of the car. And people are putting the ESC on this side, which helps with the wiring because you could bring the wires up this side and into the motor. I didn't have too much trouble with the wires on my ESC. I always replace my wires. So I am running censored on this one and non-censored on the Superstock car. If you notice, I am running a teeny bit, like these are dead straight, maybe like, I don't know, like a 0.001 amount of toe in, because the car has a lot of steering, and it's been running pretty good. I haven't tried toe out, or I was going for dead straight, and it came out a little bit toe in, so I just ran it just to have fun with it, and I have no issue with it. But you know, try whatever you run, and if you have too much steering, try either dead straight or a little bit of toe in, because that worked for me. So let's just get to the running footage. I think I went over all the little difficulties in the build. There weren't really any difficulties, the instructions weren't complete when I started building my car. For setup, what I did was he gives you this little setup stand that you put underneath of the rear pod, and you can unscrew the screws and the pod will drop down onto the piece. I used the highest setting just because I just wanted to get the car on the track and have the rear be slightly higher than the front, and that's what I did. For my front ride height, I eyeballed it and just made sure that my upper arms were flat, straight across. And I think I'm at like a half millimeter higher in the rear than the front. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was because I wasn't trying to get exact measurements. I was just making sure that the rear was higher than the front just to get the car on the track. But they both run fantastically. So let's just go on and watch the running footage, and we'll come back and close this out.
All right, guys, this is the Superstock setup. I ran this before, and then Ken ran into me and destroyed my servo. But here we go. This is the Superstock. It's running the DXR motor with 1053 gearing, 3500 kV. It's running the soft, what are those tires? The Marka 5 double R's, the treaded ones.
7.2. Lamont. 7.4. 8.6. 6.1. 6.1.
It's not bad. 6.1 on a Superstock car.
8.1. 6.2.
All right, so as a Superstock car, it's really good. You guys notice my car's bouncing a little bit. Oh, sorry.
6.6.
This car is running the Atomic ESC and an Atomic servo.
6.1. 6.1. 6.3. 6.2. 6.1.
Again.
5.9.
Dang, Ken.
6.1.
But this is the pan car. It is running 14 the big 14s in the back, soft in the rear, PN Low Pro 8.5 KSM in the front with the new PN lipped front rim or tire, whatever you want to call it, or wheel. 5500 kV Insotech, 1354 gearing, and I do believe it's running a PN ESC and one of the new V2
6.3.
AGF servos. There's all your specs.
6.3. 7.6. 6.3. 6-4. 6-7.
I didn't even read.
21.5.
Didn't read that lap.
6-2.
6-2.
2. 6-9. 6-2. 6-4. 6-2. 6-9. 8-3. 6-3.
All right, well there you go, guys.
6-4.
I'm really satisfied with the car. I didn't have to do a lot of tweaking to get it where it is right now. I don't feel like I have to do a lot more tweaking. I may have to adjust some of my driving, but I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, guys, welcome back. So you saw the running footage. Hope you guys were pleased with that. I was quite pleased. I have to say that it's a great car. In these finishing comments, I'm trying to keep this short so you guys can get on with the rest of your day. It's great. It's a great car. I mean, I think it's the first car I've built that I didn't have to buy anything extra for. Granted, I did get the brass rear pod attachment, but I did not use the upgraded springs. I used the springs that came in the box, and the car runs fantastic. Of course, your mileage may vary because your setup may be different than mine, but I'm running, what is that, 1s in the front, regular 3s in the back. These are 14s because they offset the 3. And it's a pleasure to drive. I know a few guys who say it has a lot of steering, but it seems like it's really easy to dial it back with your endpoints and dual rate. So, you know, I guess in theory, it's better to have too much than not enough, right? You can always get rid of the parts you don't want. You can't magically make things appear where they aren't. All right. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I think it's a great car. The build was fantastic. And the instructions are much better than they were in the beginning. And go check out Christian's video on the arms so you can safely construct them. And I think that's it, guys. I got nothing else to say. I would definitely recommend 10 out of 10 to get the car. It's fantastic. Like at $371, which is what I paid for each one of these, it's a steal. It's right on par with the MRZ 1.1, the GLR GT with the Reflex Racing upgrade kit, and it does stand a couple toes over those cars. It's that good. So you know, I'll let you guys go. If you have any questions about the car, the setup, my setup, what I'm running, how I'm running it, what kind of track surface, leave it in the comments below. And make sure you do all those things you do at the end of the video that you liked. Make sure you comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next one. What's going to be in the next one, you ask? This guy. This is the MWX chassis for the GLR. I don't know if he's going to make it for other cars, but right now it's only for the GLR. It is a wonder of innovation. You're like, what's going on there? What's a big old wide chassis? What's up with that? Well, you'll find out in the next video. I'll catch you guys in that one. Deuces. Double deuces. What if I had like a third arm and it came in and it's like, another deuces. Peace.
Kid, what do you think of the RX28?
I like it a lot. I like the build
7-6.
quality. I don't think I have as much time on it as you. Mine needs some work still, but I do like it a lot.
7-5.
Yeah.
Thanks. What do you think, EJ?
I've yet to drive the RX28, but the build, overall, very good. I'm looking forward to driving it. Looks like it's going to be super fast, but it does take a little bit of work.
Yeah.
7-1.
Couple of glitches in the instruction matrix.
Yeah, just little things during the build that you got to figure out. It's with any miniz, you got to do a little bit of tinkering before you get it really settled where you like it. And this car's no different than that. But it's coming together good. I look forward to getting on the track. I'm sure it's going to be quick.
Cool.
All right, back to the lab.